Hello readers, I'm Amy and today we are talking about the Hormone Diaries by Hannah Witten. If you have not watched any videos by Hannah Witten, I don't know what you're doing with your life, but you need to go and subscribe to her right now, and I'll put the links down below because she's amazing. She talks about relationships and periods and hormones and sex and all of that good stuff. Also, side note, if you are not in the mood or ever in the mood to hear about vaginas, menstruation, and some recent medical trauma, then you might want to move on to one of my other videos because I will be talking about that later in this review. So anyways, the Hormone Diaries is like a YA nonfiction, so it is geared towards teens, so this was definitely a little young for me in writing and setup, but I still had a lot to learn about this. It even has exact instructions on how to insert and remove a menstrual cup, which will be very relevant in a minute. But yes, if you don't know already, I am a sex-positive person. I think everyone deserves and needs to know about their bodies, especially whenever you're dealing with stuff like periods. You gotta get pretty intimate with yourself to take care of some of that. So as for my story that I'm going to tell today, again, trigger warning, vaginas, menstruation, and medical trauma. I have had an IUD change lately. An IUD is a form of birth control. It's kind of shaped like a uterus or like a T, and they put it up through the cervix into the uterus itself. It's very uncomfortable. I definitely recommend, if you're going to do that, have someone come with you and hold their hand. They may not have a hand left afterwards because you'll have squeezed it to death, but just have someone whose hand you can hold, because it's not great. My IUD replacement ended up being smaller than my original one because I just couldn't get dilated enough. I couldn't open up enough. And because it is a smaller size, I am receiving fewer hormones. Now, with the IUD that I've had for the last 5 years, I wasn't having periods. And a couple weeks ago, I think I had a period. I'm not sure yet. Let's give it a couple months and see how this cycle goes. But it would appear that I'm having periods again because I have fewer hormones. If you need any more details on this stuff, read the Hormone Diaries because hormones are complicated and that's not what I'm here to talk about. But this book has some really great instructions on how to insert a menstrual cup. And luckily, the instructions that come with menstrual cups are pretty great. And this is where stuff like this is so important. You need to know about your body and how to work with it. Because I love the idea of menstrual cups. They're environmentally friendly and they're pretty soft and they can catch all the blood. You're not soaking it up. You're not putting cotton and other unknown chemicals that are used to produce tampons or pads in that area. You're just using silicone, which you boil beforehand. You can boil it again whenever you're done with everything. Wash it with soap and water in between uses. You know, it's pretty great idea. But again, you gotta get really intimate with yourself, especially in trying to take this sucker out. Recent medical trauma, I got to finally try a menstrual cup, and I could not get it out. This is not going to happen to everyone. Taking out menstrual cups takes a lot of practice. Please don't let this story scare you because even after this event happened, I will still be trying menstrual cups. I just got a different style that I think might suit me better. But this little sucker, once it gets in there, you gotta get in there. You're sticky. I'm trying not to be too graphic about this. You're gonna get a lot of finger up in there. Apparently, the idea is that you're supposed to use your thumb and your index finger to grip the bottom and pull it out. I don't know if it's my scoliosis or the fact that I'm not flexible or if my extraordinarily long fingers, for once, are not long enough, but I can't reach my thumb up there. So instead, I used an alternate 2 fingers, which are not strong enough to keep pulling even after the suction is out. My point is, after 45 minutes of trying to get this out, my husband and I decided, I should go to the emergency room because there are instructions included with the menstrual cup that say, hey, if you can't get it out, go see the doctor because you don't want it in there for more than 12 hours or so because no one wants all that blood and stuff just hanging out. That's what leads to toxic shock syndrome. So I go to the emergency room, and after 2.5 hours of waiting, which I'm like, you don't have to take my vitals, you don't have to do anything, just get in there and take it out. She did what you're not supposed to do, or at least it felt like she did what you're not supposed to do. The instructions say, don't pull on the stem. The stem hurts. If you're pulling on the stem, that suction, when it pops, it's gonna hurt. You squeeze the bottom of the bell so that the top of it loses its suction, and then you pull it out by this base that even has the nice little ridges and stuff. You don't pull on this, you pull on the bottom of the bell. Well, I think she pulled on the stem, because that really, really, really hurt. And again, point of this video, know your body. Because if you want to use stuff like this, if you even want to use a tampon, you gotta get in there, you gotta get comfortable. Highly recommend this book because Hannah Witton's like, you should know your body. You should know what's going on with it. You should know what's up with it. Also, using period products is not the same thing as losing your virginity, and virginity is a social construct anyways. Besides talking about periods and hormones and how to take care of yourself if the menstrual cup won't come out, we've also got a lot of letters that she collected from people who are trans, who are non-binary, whatever, and they're all having periods and different sexual experiences and different ways of dealing with their hormones. And that's what makes this book really, really important, is that she gathers all of those different experiences. A woman isn't any one thing. A body isn't any one thing. Like, everyone's going to have their different experiences, and it's important to know about those experiences. It's important to be able to see yourself in what you're reading, and I think Hannah Witton did a really great job of that, because she took all of these letters, all of these own voices, and added them into her material. So, if you want to know anything about the body, check out Hannah Witton. Watch her videos. Read her books. Save her books for your kids someday, because they're gonna need it, because they need to know about their bodies, because they deserve it. Please like, subscribe, be my friend on social media. I'm pretty awesome, I think. And I will see all of you in my next video. Bye, friends.